I'm Sari Cooper, a certified sex therapist and sex coach in New York City. I'll be your host to Sex Esteem, a new show where we will explore in all its expressions relationships and sex in the modern world. Tune in for fun-filled facts and entertaining tips to having a more pleasurable sex life. Welcome back to Sex Esteem. Today we'll be talking with Betty Dotson, a sex pioneer in the field of women's sexuality. Welcome.
Thank you, darling. Thank you.
So for those people who don't know you, do you want to talk about how you first came into doing hands-on work with women?
Well, I'm a child of the 60s and the 70s, so I didn't really learn about sex by reading it in a book. I learned about sex by having sex. You can't beat experience. So in the 60s, we were having sex parties, and I could see in my sex parties, you see the room is perfect. Women were always faking orgasm.
But you also, in those days, you were and still are an artist.
That's what I started off as, yeah. And my first exhibition was in 1968, and it was the first erotic art show in captivity on Madison Avenue. It was, God, was that fun. Oof.
Well, people don't know about that show. What were the images?
The first round, heterosexual, and I sold practically every one of the drawings. And then I segued into feminism, and I thought, and by now I'm teaching women who can't have an orgasm. The way you're going to learn is to practice on your own body. You're going to masturbate. And so the second exhibition, 2 years later, what was the subject? And I said, it will be masturbation. And so I did these 6-foot drawings of 2 women and 2 men masturbating. I mean, they were over life size.
What was the reaction?
Well, pandemonium. I got drummed out of the art business. I lost my gallery. People would walk in and gasp and turn around and walk out. A couple of guys were threatening to do bodily harm when they saw the woman with the vibrator. And I'm standing there taking this all in, and I went, whoa. It cost me money. I didn't sell anything, and I lost my gallery, and it was a complete, utter disaster. But I had discovered the bottom line of sexual repression. How about that?
So tell us how you went from that to doing these body sex groups.
Well, I realized how absolutely ignorant people were about their bodies and about sexuality. And then people would come up and ask me questions that I could not believe that an adult didn't know. It was like, so I said, oh, well. And by now I'm really involved in feminism. And I knew that the group sex was the way to go, but I couldn't have an orgy with all women. They wouldn't show up. So then I thought, but I could design something.
So basically, a lot of women grew up not knowing anything about their clitoris, anything about their vulva, and really were very dissatisfied in their relationships.
We never complained. It's just smile and fake another orgasm. Keep the old man happy.
So how many people were in that first group that you ran?
Oh, I don't even remember. It was like, the room holds 12 to 13, perfect. I can do 14 to 15. I think the first group was 15, and it was like, and how I dealt with it, I had no idea how to do it. But what I was focusing on is that I had done a couple of years of what we called, in the early stages of feminism, consciousness raising, the CR groups. And I went, oh, CR group. Okay, so we sit in a circle, no one's leading it, we're all equal, and you use I sentences. You don't go, you know what would be good for you with that's mother. That's advice. No. I found that I'm really having trouble having an orgasm with my boyfriend, with my husband. I can't come from vaginal penetration only. First, person.
Can you tell us how long you've been doing these body sex classes?
Oh, around 45 years. I'm hooked.
First of all, I want to congratulate you on this website,
Thank you.
Dotson and Ross.
I love it. Oh, God, I love that website.
You have reached a pinnacle in terms of your viewership. How many people have viewed it?
Lost count. Millions. We went past the, whatever it is. Carlin has to keep track of that because I'm dyslexic, first of all.
Right.
And numbers have no meaning to me. I mean, even when it comes to money, I can't figure that out either. It's like.
And you answer people's questions.
For free, absolutely.
So any question.
Sock it to me, kid.
Okay.
I've never missed one.
All right. And what do you learn from what people are asking?
So from abstinence to porn, can you imagine what's happening out there? Particularly to our girls. The girls are lost. And the big thing is, how will I know when I've had an orgasm? And so somebody said that you'll know, and if you don't know, then it's not an orgasm. That's not true. I have clients coming to me, they're having an orgasm. I can see, come on, I'm trained visually. I have seen people having orgasms for years and years and years and years and years. I mean, more than I would care to remember. And you can tell the body, you can see how it moves, and you can see the autonomic reflexes, and I'll go, oh, she just had an orgasm, and then just say, nothing happened. And at the beginning, orgasms are like little blips.
Right. So they're very sort of genitally focused initially, as opposed to full body ones, which you have
It'll take a little while to spread the energy, yes.
Right, through breathing. But I would say not just porn, Betty. I think the movies that we see coming out of Hollywood always show women having orgasms through penetration.
Right.
How often have we really seen women have oral sex given to them, or manual sex, or toys? Hardly
How about
ever.
clitoral stimulation during vaginal penetration? This is what we're pushing.
Never happens on screen.
Oh.
So the other thing I want to talk about is your new book, your new memoir that you self-published.
Yes, yeah, I'm very proud of it.
So it tells the whole story.
Everything.
Up until now.
This book was in the works for 30 years. I'm a double Virgo, honey. And I just kept doing it and reworking it, and I thought, no, this isn't it. I wanted this to be my, Sistine Chapel. And finally, I don't know, not long ago, I went, that's it. I can't make it any better. And I unabashedly claim this incredible sex life that I've lived proudly.
Right.
And I didn't hold any punches, and it's like there, and I will guarantee you at least 3, if not 5 or 6 orgasms while reading it.
That's quite a sales pitch.
Oh, I never thought of that. Very good.
I also think it's a story about women's sexuality through many generations, and the growth that happened and the growth that needs to still happen.
Oh, we've got a lot of ground to cover, girl. A lot of ground to cover.
I think also the idea of sex esteem, that you have your own sense of self, that your own sense of pleasure, that you can make decisions and you can do it.
Yep.
Right.
Absolutely.
Thanks again to my guest, Betty Dotson, for joining me on Sex Esteem. Get her new book, My Sexual Memoir, on Amazon or on her website, Dotson and Ross. And if you have a question, email her. You'll get an answer right away.